everyone. This is my update for Friday, February 15th, 2019. I'm out in San Diego at a conference with a couple of students. They're going to join me in this video in just a moment. But a couple of announcements I wanted to share with you first. First, our Granite State Challenge team from Souhegan is going to be on television tomorrow night. So this team will take on the Wildcats of Fall Mountain in New Hampshire's high school trivia game show. It'll be on New Hampshire PBS at 6 o'clock tomorrow, Saturday, February 16th. Some of the players you'll see, Alex Redder, Hunter Redelinas, Kate Eastland, Patrick Conway, Ian Lewis, and Kelly Frasca. Last week, I was so pleased to see something that happened at Clark Wilkins Elementary School. Brendan Holt, our new physical education teacher this year, wrote a grant with the PTA to bring Northeast Passage to Wilkins so students could explore similarities that we all share regardless of ability. And so I want to read a little bit about the Northeast Passage Similarity Awareness Program. This program gives our kids the opportunity to know what it's like to move through life with a disability, a physical disability. And for our students, you can see the looks on their faces as they learned what that must be like to face life with a different kind of challenge. And it really promotes all of our similarities, the ways that we're all the same despite our abilities. And so I just want to thank Clark Wilkins, the PTA, and Mr. Holt for making an exceptional program available to our students. All right, welcome everybody. I'm here in San Diego, California at High Tech High. We're at a conference called Redesigning for Student Success, and two of our students are here, and they presented yesterday about community council and the value it has and it brings to our schools. So I thought I would ask Georgia Craven, and Daria Dezen to talk a little bit about their presentation yesterday. So Daria, do you want to start?
Yeah. So we presented about community council, and what we really wanted to get across was the student agency that council provides. And kind of the main goal of our conference was to talk with people and not only educate them about what council is, but help them to strengthen their student governments at their schools.
So I thought it was interesting, Georgia, the way you presented was you actually made the adults get up and move around the room, which is fascinating because usually at these conferences about teaching and learning, we do the worst possible thing to people is make them sit for hours and hours and hours. So tell us a little bit about the presentation style you guys used.
Well, so what we don't like in school is just sitting there and listening to people talk the whole time. So I think we incorporated how we want to be taught and how we presented. So we had people get up and move to each side of the room depending on the question that we asked and the answer that they had for that question. So like an example question was like, are you from the East Coast or the West Coast? And we said like, if you're from the East Coast, go to the left side of the room. If you're from the West Coast, go to the right side of the room. Or if you're from somewhere in the middle, then go in the middle. And so I think that got them up and moving and excited for the rest of the presentation because we tried to do that at the beginning. And then we broke into stations, which got the conversation flowing, and that's kind of how we like to learn. That's how Hegan is in groups and doing conversation and stuff like that. So it was cool to incorporate that into our presentation.
What was the question you asked about the role of students in decision making in the school? And then can you describe how the room looked after you asked that question?
Yeah, so I asked how much decision making do the students do within their government for your school, and so there was a lot of people on the side of the room that said none at all. There were a few, there were like 3 or 4 people that were like, yes, they have a lot of opportunity to make decisions, and then in the middle, there was a ton of people, and we were like, so middle guys, do you think that that's because they have a little bit of both? And they said that they have none of it at all. So
wow, interesting. So Daria, what in your opinion is the primary benefit of having something like community council at Souhegan?
I think the primary benefit is that it kind of shows students how much power they have, even though they're young and we're not adults yet. We are young adults, and we do have a lot of power to change the environment that we're in. So I feel like that's definitely a great thing about council.
So we all visited a couple of schools a couple of days ago to see exemplary schools, they told us. And so we had an experience I want to share because I think it's important to show kind of the stark contrast between some other places. So we went into a classroom, middle school classroom, And the teacher, as this group of 8 or 10 people walks in the classroom, the teacher makes a crack about, oh, now you're listening. And a few students chuckled at the teacher saying that, and the teacher singled out one student by name and said, Matthew, I'm talking about you. You need to look in the mirror and stop laughing, or some kind of comment like that. And I was really upset by it, but I was really surprised at the students that I'm with and their reaction. So Georgia, how did that interaction make you feel?
Well, I was just kind of confused about, like, if he has visitors in the classroom, why would you make that kind of comment, first of all? I mean, I guess he wasn't trying to hide the real way that they act with their students, but also I was just like, why are you a teacher if you're going to be putting students down like that? Because, like, we don't have that kind of thing.
Yeah, we talked to a couple of students in the classroom, and Dari, do you remember what some of the kids said about what they thought about the school?
Yeah, they were like, I hate this school, like I don't want to be here. And we kept saying like, oh, don't worry, it'll get better in high school. But they were just very unhappy to be there.
Yeah, and for me, it was that there was no respect coming from the school to the students, and it just reinforces the good work that we do in our schools of giving kids respect and giving them the opportunities to succeed through respect. And when kids, we have students that make mistakes, and we deal with that, we sort that out. But the expectation is not that kids will make mistakes. The expectation that we have is that kids will be respectful. And it's quite a difference in how kids feel as a result of all of that. It's quite interesting for me. All right, well, thank you, Daria and Georgia. Thank you both for being here. And I really appreciate you taking the time to do this video with me.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Take care.